We did not forget about Iryna Zarutska, okay? All right? We did not forget about her. There was an unbelievable amount of tragedies that happened over the last couple of weeks, but we did not forget you, Iryna, and we will not ever forget you, okay? You did not deserve what happened to you, and horrifyingly enough, it happened to you anyway. So, JD, 48, JD, just dance Vans, 48. He gave kind of a beautiful speech. So I'm going to show you a clip because I think it's really important because we have something of an issue in modern Western civilization, and that is accepting cultures that want you dead. I know it sounds pretty weird. Like, why would you accept a culture that wants you dead? I don't know. Ask your libtard neighbor that would celebrate your murder. So let's see what JD, Just Dance Vans 48 had to say.
And the thing is, it actually bumped out of the news this terrible story in Charlotte. And here's the basic summary, as far as I can recall it, is you have a violent criminal who has been arrested 14 times, often for very violent offenses.
Now I want to make this clear right off the bat. A lot of people are saying the murder happened in a red state, so it doesn't matter. Anyone that says that, with all due respect, needs to immediately fuck themselves in the ass. I'm sorry, that's the only thing you have to do. You have to immediately do that. Turn around and start stretching. Start doing Pilates, ladies and gentlemen. You have to do it. This person was let out of jail 14 times by black DEI activist woke judges. Okay? With all due respect, this has absolutely nothing to do with any of that shit. Okay? Your story has crumbled. All right, moving on.
Who gets on a bus with an innocent young girl, 22 years old, and slits her throat, and she dies.
Nightmare.
She died because she was coming home from work. She worked at a pizzeria.
Right, for those of you that haven't seen the video, honestly, if you're the faint of heart, don't see it, but watch it. It's a nightmare. It's an actual nightmare. For no reason, this fucking hoodlum gets up behind her and murders her. For no reason. And then mutters to himself, I got that white girl. I got that white girl.
She came from a beautiful family. She had a young boyfriend. She had her entire life.
And she was an ally. She had, like, Black Lives Matter posters. She was an ally. They don't care.
Ahead of her. And she was actually a refugee from Ukraine.
That's right.
So she came from a war-torn country. She sought shelter in the United States of America. And because of soft-on-crime policies, she was murdered here, not in the war-torn country she came from. Isn't that a disgrace?
It really is.
And isn't that an insult to the incredible law enforcement officers who arrested this person for...
JD, Just Dance Vance, I have to say, bro knows exactly where to put the emphasis. Okay? The libtard said, well, the police aren't doing their jobs. Police aren't doing their jobs. They arrested this motherfucker 14 times.
14 times. They did everything that they could to keep this thug off the streets, it was the political...
They're calling him a racist for calling him a thug, by the way, but I fully stand by any racial slurs you want to send to murderers. Okay, really hot take. Sending racial slurs to murderers is actually kind of based.
Leadership that failed, and we got to be honest about that. I saw former Governor Cooper say, and this is Michael Whatley's opponent.
That's right.
Former Governor Cooper says a couple of days after the attack that we
name and shame
have got to do more when it comes to law enforcement to keep people like this off the streets. And my response was,
JD.
He was arrested 14 times. Law enforcement did their job. It's time for you to do your job.
Straight facts. 100%. Unbelievable. There is a mental retardation problem on the left that I've noticed. It all started when they started saying that there are more than two genders. That's when I was like, wait a second. I don't understand. The B in LGBT stands for bisexual. The B in LGBT literally means there's two genders. And then I was like, wait a second, they are retarded. Anyway, can't keep their stories straight or something. But we remember. So Sam Hyde, before we see Sam Hyde, JD Vance made this tweet, which I thought is really amazing. Daniel Penny prevented this from happening on New York City subway instead of thanking him, and he hated him for it. Completely true, by the way. All right? Just literally, completely, and utterly, factually, unfathomably true. Daniel Penny is some guy that acted in self-defense because there was a man of a very dark white complexion. All right? It was a white man with black skin. Weird how that happens. Basically tried to kill somebody, and he intervened and, in self-defense, killed that guy. They dragged him. They dragged him through the fucking mud. Dark white man? Yeah, I call it... Listen, I'm the media now. I have to start calling all the killers white people. Don't you understand? That's how it works. I am the media, so therefore, It is the untold truth. I have to start calling everyone white people. That's right. You didn't hear about those two white people, both named Mohammed Abdul, that blew up a fucking Fox News van? You didn't hear about that? So anyway, anywho's a lose it, all right? A man with dark skin of unknown race almost killed someone, was stopped by Daniel Penny, and in self-defense, Daniel Penny killed him. Daniel Penny was found innocent in court, but they still fucking tried to ruin his life over it. They still tried to ruin his life in every possible way. And if there would have been a Daniel Penny on this bus, he would have saved her. And, I mean, realistically, everyone on this bus didn't even get up to rush to her after she was stabbed in the neck. What an absolute nightmare. So, JD Vance made this tweet because there was a shooting today that happened in a church, a Mormon church. There was a shooting. 2 people were killed, I think. 9 wounded. Truly a nightmare. Honestly, unbelievable that this keeps happening. It really is a war on God. Honestly, that's what's happening in our country. Ever since Charlie Kirk died, there has been a resurgence in faith, and the devil is trying his best to stop it, and he will fail. But as it stands right now, it's really horrible. So JD Vance said, just an awful situation in Michigan. FBI is on the scene. Entire administration is monitoring things. Say a prayer for the victims and first responders, which of course I did, and I urge you all to do as well. So, tap sign. It's obviously both sides. Stat from the ADL. Absolutely, this is very important to recognize. Look, guys, according to my chart, it is actually both sides. This is very important to recognize. It is a both sides issue. So Sam Hyde, who, for the record, is like an edgelord comedian. All right, he's not like, known to be the nicest, biggest-hearted guy. The Charlie Kirk and Iryna murders were so unbelievably heart-wrenching for normal people with souls. Leftists might not know about this. It's called a soul. It's this thing that makes you kind of like understand there is a spiritual realm. Whatever, they'll figure it out one day, I hope. I pray to God that they figure that shit out. The sooner the better, honestly. But Sam Hyde dropped this intro to a video, and honestly, it was correct.
This is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this right here is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. This is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this is you. And this is their reaction when you are killed.
Yep.
This is the joy they feel
That's what we're up to.
when your sister is raped, when your children are castrated, brainwashed to hate you. This is their ecstasy when the floor of the subway car is awash in your blood. This is you. Make no mistake.
Remember Austin Metcalf, also stabbed by some unruly person of questionable ethnic background, just because he was a white guy?
That is a symbol. That is you. But this won't last long. They can't help themselves because they're so ugly and so low that the only joy they can experience, the only good that they can envision, is to take something beautiful or innocent down to their level. And when they can't do it, the next best thing is blood. This is Charlie's family, and these are his children who will never be able to hug their dad and grow up with a murdered father. And these are the people who smugly revel in this, and they won't stop with just Charlie. The boats are burned. There's nobody coming to help. The barbarians are at the gate. This is the fall of ancient Rome that we are living through currently.
That's right. And that's where we're at, man. That's really where we're at. And as soon as people actually begin to recognize that this is what's going on, that's when you could stop it. And as much as the media and the enemies, all right, the enemies of humanity will try their absolute best to gaslight you and make believe that, of course, it's a both sides issue. It's everyone. Everyone's the problem. Because you have to understand, from the perspective of the leftoid, Marxist, castrated mind, every human being is exactly the same. Your cultures, your backgrounds, your faiths, your religions, none of that matters at all. You are a human being. You are a clump of cells. You are just a guy roaming this nihilistic earth. No human belongs in any land. No land is owned by anyone. No one can actually create or build anything. And that is the mindset of the people that say both sides. All right, you are a monetary interchangeable unit. All right, full globo homo. Now, the realistic aspect is that's not true. Not all cultures are the same. In fact, all cultures are different. Every person is different. Every person is powerful and valuable and made in the image of God and should be protected and cherished. but we're not all the same. That's the reality of the situation, and it's exactly what they don't want you to see. All right? From their perspective, every human being is exactly identical, just an interchangeable unit, clump of cells, and that's what they see. Cenk made this tweet. I thought it was insane. At a time when Muslim Americans are in the middle of their biggest civil rights struggle, what? And desperate to be treated as humans, what? American press is obsessed with anti-Semitism. How biased do you have to be to think Israel's supporters are the powerless victims in this country? So I responded to this fat fuck. 2 Israeli Christians get murdered in Washington, D.C. Jews get firebombed in Colorado. Catholic kids get murdered in a church in Minnesota. 10 people get shot today in a Mormon church in Michigan. Muslims most affected. And that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of where we're at. We are very, and of course I ratioed the fat sweaty fuck. He probably didn't notice because he was too busy masturbating to naked pictures of animals or whatever he's into. But realistically, this is where we're at. All right, this is where we're at. We're at a point in history where the people will consistently sit there and make believe that they are the ultimate victims. Say both sides are a problem. Look at how he addressed the church shooting. Look at the tweet he made to address the church shooting. It's absolutely insane. We have another shooting, this time in Mormon church. Who shoots Mormons? This is crazy. We have to stop shooting each other. Again, interchangeable monetary clumps of cells. We're not shooting each other. You don't see religious Mormon people going out there killing people. That doesn't happen. This is not an each other situation. It really isn't. All right, I'll be honest. That's why it's so annoying. Like, yes, if you look at his tweet on face value, he's right. We should stop shooting each other. But it's really not each other. You know, it's really not each other. Interestingly enough, this church is in the middle of Michigan, which is being overrun currently by another, let's say, not so Catholic Christian religion that is also from Abrahamic descent and is also not Jewish. It is a different Abrahamic religion that is currently taking over Michigan. I just made a video on it. You can check that one out if you want. But it turns out the reality of the situation is you're not retarded. You're evil. Just want to make that clear. There's a big difference between retarded and evil. And you don't get the privilege of being considered a retard. So think before you sleep. Just drop this video. It's really long. The first half of this video is going to be talking about Iryna, he told me, and the second half is Charlie Kirk. I've already covered Charlie Kirk in depth, but I want to make sure that people don't forget Iryna, because I feel like Iryna was killed, and then right after that, Charlie Kirk was killed. And then right after that, there were just unbelievable amounts of shootings, terrorist attacks, shooting ICE agents, Antifa riots, shooting churches, and unfortunately, she fell out of the news cycle. And I saw Vance make that statement saying that we can't forget her just because she fell out of the news cycle, and he's completely correct. Because realistically, the issue that we're living on here is, from my perspective, I believe with my whole heart. All right, as it says in Deuteronomy 6:5. All right, Deuteronomy 6:5. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. The way I see it, this is a battle of good and evil. This is a battle of different people with different backgrounds that for some reason cannot properly mesh, and everyone is trying their absolute most to make sure that meshing does not happen. They don't want integration, they want war, they want destruction. So here's what we're talking about. We're talking about how human beings are not interchangeable units that are just clumps of cells, but people that come from backgrounds, that come from cultures that are all made in the image of God and all valuable, but not all cultures are the same. And we're seeing that in real time.
Okay. Oh, please don't hold my arm.
Obviously, I'm not going to show it, but that was a Korean woman who almost had a very traumatizing experience. And it was thanks to, I believe, this guy that she didn't have that experience.
Oh, thank you so much.
What do you mean? She was just getting culturally enriched. What are you talking about? She was just getting culturally enriched by a different culture that is exactly the same as hers. What do you mean? Because every person's the same, from the same culture. What are you talking about? This is just cultural enrichment. Don't you want this around your children? Don't you want this? If you don't, you're racist. If you don't, you're a bigot. You should know. You didn't get the memo. You didn't get the memo. It's fascism if you don't want this to happen.
The event happened in China, by the way, so it was all very multicultural, and I think it helps bring a prevalent problem to people's attention, a problem that a lot of people have started to notice. This next thing comes from Japan. It shows a picture of some passports, and it says, banned countries on the top in Japanese. A tweet commenting on it says, some Japanese nightclubs reportedly banned passports from Turkey, Syria, Bangladesh, India, Afghanistan, and Pakistan.
What? Why would they do that? That's so racist. That is so racist that they would specifically pick these countries. I can't believe it. Why would they do it? All human beings are the same. Cultures don't matter. All cultures are identical, right? Last time I said that there are some cultures that are inferior than others, I got dragged on Twitter for a week. We're fucking doing this again. That's right, Twitter. I don't learn my lesson.
In response to their bad behavior towards female customers, this particular picture seems to stem from a Turkish Instagram account, and while I can't tell you what he's saying in his video, many Japanese people have commented on the issue. Here's a post from someone who works security in Japanese clubs. I will note that this post is translated, so I'll show the original really quickly for people who care. Now, my Japanese isn't perfect, but I have to say that the translation is close enough. In short, the first two paragraphs basically confirm the nightclub issue, and under this post, there are tons of Japanese people talking about behavior from foreigners, and I think everyone's at a level of fatigue where—
I am personally shocked, because I was taught by my liberal college professors that all cultures are identical. There's no such thing as some cultures that are worse than other cultures. That's what my college professor taught me. There's no way they were lying to propagandize me, right? There's no way the hive mind wanted me castrated and retarded.
they're all thinking, if this is how certain groups of people are going to behave, then Japanese clubs are justified in doing this until their behavior changes. And people aren't afraid anymore to call this stuff out.
Woke is dead, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah!
Now, I have my reservations about Elon's character and personal behavior. However, he did basically steal every bit of power that these rejects had.
Elon Musk, whatever, you could call him cringe, you can call him autistic, maybe his mother took Tylenol when she was pregnant, I don't want to get involved. Elon Musk saved Western civilization by buying Twitter. I'm just saying, not trying to be controversial here or anything, he saved the West. Alright, really hot take. Bro saved the West. Zero hyperbole. I actually mean it. Okay? No one would know Iryna Zarutska was murdered if not for Elon Musk. That story was not in the fucking media. Because of Twitter. Because of Twitter. People know that this is happening.
By buying Twitter and allowing people to speak freely.
Marvel now has regained the rights to X-Men. I think it would be a really cool idea to have a trans woman be Mystique.
Bro, stop. It's over. Dude, Elon bought Twitter. We don't need to make believe there's infinite genders anymore. All right? We don't need to make believe it. We caved into your delusions long enough hoping you'd grow out of it. But sorry, we don't need to do that.
Oh my god, shut up. Nobody cares.
We need to affirm more retards. All right? If they're mentally ill, you know what we got to do? Affirm that shit immediately. I was catching some heat on the timeline. So I decided to go a little crazy. I have to show you a tweet that I made today. It was absolutely diabolical. So it turns out the person that shot at the ICE facility in Texas and missed the ICE agents and ended up killing illegal immigrants. You know, God's ironic, horrifyingly dark comedy, I guess. But that guy was a furry too, it turned out. So people have been showing some furry clips. Like, these are adults, man. These are adults. This is a furry being dragged. Like, I don't even know why. Like, this is crazy. We do not need to affirm this shit. So I hit them with this banger. All right, so you have this dude over here with heroin, wine, the Harry Potter movies plus porn, and the auto masturbator. And then normal humans' response is, this is kind of weird. And then you get your average libtard empath saying, oh my god, let people enjoy things. No, actually, that's fucking crazy. We have to stop affirming these retards. We have to stop doing it. Like, dude, here was another one. Pete Hegseth being based. All right, so this is retard McGoogle in court.
Because if it were...
I mean, in the Congress.
You would be keeping these women in. Instead...
Meaning trans women in the military.
You are the one injecting culture wars into the military, and it's at the detriment of our military readiness and national security. Now, General Kane, I'd like to turn to you.
So to be clear, these are men who think they're women.
These are women. I'm happy to educate you on...
but these are men...
Don't worry, guys. Everybody, don't worry. Fantastic news. She's going to educate us. All right, she's an empath. She knows science.
And so what we've identified is that there's mental health issues with that belief system.
I'd like to turn to General
are detrimental to readiness.
That's right.
And that's the determination that we've made and that we stand behind. Gender dysphoria.
And so you don't...
So we're not playing the game anymore. I'm sorry. So I responded with the absolute murder on the timeline. That's transphobic with the so what lol infinite response. Honestly, an unsurmountable defense, right? If you hit them with the so what lol, they are fucked. It's over. Like, this is complete and utter destruction. Like, what are they going to do at that point? So anyway, that's where we're at.
Not doing this anymore. If you want to create a story that no one reads, then go write fan fiction. So the result of this newfound free speech, thanks to Elon, is that we're now not censored for pointing things out like criminal behavior, and I guess we'll call it cultural replacement through pathological immigration policies. And before anyone calls any of this racist, for one, I don't care. No one cares anymore. 2, a great...
Dude, so what lol is the ultimate defense. It's the ultimate response. It shuts them down entirely.
Man once said that he dreamed of a time where people would be judged by the content of their character.
That's right.
And criticizing people's behaviors and cultural trends is not racism. You're being judged by your actions. Expecting special treatment or special protections from criticism because you're a certain race is racist. Because racism requires a superiority complex, and saying that it's illegal for people to criticize you or that you're above the law because of your race is the suggestion that you're superior.
No lies.
And before we get into it, just to make this all perfectly clear right at the start of the video, because I know there are people who will actively try to misinterpret what I'm saying. So personally, on an individual level, I don't think I'm superior to any one individual of any race. I've met great Middle Eastern people. I'm a big fan of Middle Eastern food. Obviously, I have respect for Asians. I've been studying Japanese for years. Mexicans are great, and I've met plenty of smart Indians and studied some of their philosophy when I was younger.
Dude, the thing is, I like, it's really nice that he's saying that. I, again, view every single person, every single human being is made in the image of God. Every single person has a purpose. God designed the world for every single one of us individually, all right? There's a reason why God needs you. All right, that's my perspective. That's the way I view the world. That said, I would not want to sit in front of the guy that murdered fucking Iryna Zarutska, to be honest. I personally probably wouldn't do it, I'll be honest. Not trying to be cruel here or anything, I just understand a little thing called patterns. And I realize that if you have this fucking crackhead sitting behind you, you don't necessarily want to sit next to him. I'll be real, some racism would have saved Iryna Zarutska's life. She would have picked a different seat if she was a little bit racist, and she would have lived. But unfortunately, her lack of racism killed her. Sorry to be blunt, that's where we at.
For example, I think the Indian concept of karma is great, in the Western sense, and its original meaning described in the Bhagavad Gita. We'll be talking about karma a bit in this video.
Bro's just flexing his random knowledge of other cultures. By the way, Think Before You Sleep is a really educated guy. He reads a lot of shit. I'm actually really impressed.
That being said, certain places have different cultural values, and if outsiders don't want to adhere to those values, then they can leave. Which brings us to this video here.
Over time, I noticed there was a lot more newcomers, especially more Punjabi kind of guys, which was fine. Like, I honestly had no problem with it. These men specifically were always groping and touching women and like coming in these circles and just dancing in a way that made a lot of people feel really uncomfortable. But the other thing that I've noticed is we're just seeing a lot more of this like predatory behavior from these newcomer groups of people, and I think it's just so terrible how they can hide behind something like racism, and women who have been like actually groped in a bar are not allowed to come out and say this or say that we feel uncomfortable. And I don't even feel...
For the record, there is a 100% chance she voted left wing. All right, this is the empathy party. Look, on the one hand, I'm really sorry this happened to you. On the other hand, you did this to yourself. But like, obviously, that doesn't make it okay that it happened to her. But this is your fault. You. Maybe not you as an individual, but you as a collective, you as a statistic, it is your fault. You are doing this, okay? And to think, the way she started this fucking video, by the way, was, I'm just saying, I don't hate anyone, everyone's good, not being racist, everyone's acceptable, I appreciate them all, they're all good, they're all the same, every single one of them, we love all of them, disclaimer, not racist, they're all amazing. We're getting raped in the streets, guys. It's like, okay, thanks for the disclaimers, empath.
Safe going to bars anymore.
You absolutely are allowed to talk about this. Stop letting these people hide behind calling you racist. You aren't the only one
to be fair, she is Canadian, so, I mean, whatever.
Noticing.
Canada's kind of over. I don't know if you're aware, Canada's kind of over. We're calling Canada Neo-India from now on. It'll be neighbors with everyone's favorite European nation, Englandos.
It's not racist to say, hey, a bunch of Indians recently moved...
Frankenstein. That's Palestine in France, because that's where... They recognize the Palestinian state as the capital of France.
Here, and they're throwing trash everywhere. I mean, if they want to live in human waste, then they can go back to India. Here's the cleanest river I was able to find. But now is not the time to be afraid to speak up. And for
the record, I think Indian people are super nice people. Super nice, open, loving people. They just don't care about some things that I personally do care about. Like poop on the floor, as an example. Again, not everyone is like that, obviously. But realistic. But you know, we see things differently. Okay, listen. Again, I don't mean this as like a hate thing. I just think that they have different hygienic standards, which all power to them, but please do it in India.
By the way, All of the Indians who don't disrespect the countries they immigrate to hate this behavior because it makes them look bad, so they will full-on support you when you call it out. Now, before I show this next video, it's a little confusing at the start, so to be clear, this Indian woman is criticizing people who litter.
I will throw garbage on the road. I pay my taxes. The government has hired sanitation workers. They should do their job. If the road is dirty, it's not my fault. I will dirty it anytime. Now, this is the kind of the mentality that Indians...
For the record, a lot of people move to countries and do actually try to assimilate. This is a rule thing, by the way. All right? This is a real, true thing. A lot of people do try to actually assimilate. Some people don't. That's the problem. If you're moving to another country or culture, assimilate to that culture. I'll be real, and I'm not judging you because this is what you do in your homeland. And if I move to your homeland, I will try my best to assimilate. This is a poop war festival in India where they fling poop at each other, and I'll be real, personally, not my thing. But power to you guys. Okay, listen, power to you. Not say, look, whatever floats your boat.
Feel entitled towards. We should do our bit and understand what is the right or clean habit.
Well, actually, let me add a bit more nuance because in the full video, she says that she had dirty habits but fixed them after criticism, and as a result, she was explaining the entitled mentality that a lot of Indians have on this issue. Another bullying success story. I swear a bunch of Twitter racists are going to end up saving India from infectious disease, as many Indians in the comments say they're working on sanitation anytime someone shows a trash pile on social media. So it's not bad to call this stuff out because it makes things better for everyone, and good people appreciate it when boundaries are set. As for the bad ones, I don't care about them. Throw them in prison if they break the law, or deport them if they refuse to assimilate.
Assimilate or leave. It's that easy.
And the consequences of not staying silent on this is that you get to live in a nice place.
Okay, everybody, I'm here in Seoul, South Korea. As you can see, everyone, they have these like inflatable...
Every single time I see a video of Charlie Kirk, it like breaks my heart. It actually breaks my heart. I am still, like, here we are weeks later. I am still absolutely shaken and ravaged that this dude was taken from us so soon. Obviously, he's fighting a much more important battle up there. But wow, dude, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Cushy chairs, everyone is reading. This would last about 35 seconds in most American cities.
It would get stabbed immediately. It would get vandalized right away.
You can have nice stuff. Crime is a choice. We shouldn't put up with it. South Korea doesn't. We shouldn't either.
Right, Charlie. We shouldn't have to put up with crime, and South Korea is not the only place like that. Recently, I was in Japan, and I have to say that the cities are extremely safe and clean there. That being said, before...
Yeah, it's almost like if you arrest criminals, there are less criminals or something, probably. Or something. I mean, personally, I would never understand.
Before I play this next clip, I just want to give a little trigger warning because you could never do this in America. This is how safe Japan is.
When people leave their bags or wallets or personal items on tables in Japan, more often than not, you might be thinking, oh, I've probably forgotten it. I should do something. I should grab it and run off with it and show the shop staff. Don't do that, because 9 times out of 10, it's somebody who has reserved that table using their own possessions.
Oh my God, they reserve a table with an iPhone? Bro, that's crazy. Dude, that's actually fucking, oh my God, that's crazy. Whoa, dude, that is a high trust society, ladies and gentlemen. No wonder why Johnny Somali got fucking butt whooped over there. That's amazing. Holy crap, not America. And you think America's bad? Dude, Europe? There are pickpockets on every single subway and every train in all of Europe, okay? People put padlocks on backpacks in Spain, all right? Dude.
Repeat that. It is so safe in Japan that you can leave your wallet or your phone on a table out in the open, go to the bathroom, and no one will try to steal it. And again, as someone who has been there, I have to say that it is uncanny to be able to walk into a public park in the middle of a city at 2 a.m. and no one tries to stab you.
Damn,
the dark alleyways at 2 a.m. are safe too. In fact, it is so safe in Japan that it is very common for Japanese people to pass out drunk on the street, get a full 8 hours, and wake up perfectly unharmed. But that doesn't mean that there aren't bad actors trying to disrupt that peaceful environment. Japan is currently going through a pretty big birthing crisis, and instead of, maybe writing...
Yeah, Japan. Oh, no, Japan, don't do it. Japan's like, what does Europe do with their birthing crisis? Well, they import people. For real? Yep, for real.
In some workers.
See, Japan has its issues. Now, let me make this clear. All right? I'm gonna be very upfront with you. No culture is perfect. Every culture has its issues. They have their advantages. They have their disadvantages. Japan, they absolutely prioritize working. They prioritize working so much, so unbelievably high, that their birth rates are super low. People are passing out from overworking. People are committing suicide from failing at their jobs. Like, dude, Japan has unbelievable, massive crises to deal with, even though, obviously, it's a beautiful society regarding crime. It's an incredibly strict society regarding other things. Again, call me biased. I personally think cultures that are based on biblical backgrounds are the healthiest, best cultures. From my perspective, obviously, I'm sure some people see it differently. And if you do see it differently, you should move, actually. You should leave. My hot take is get out. Get out. You don't like it? Bye. Bye.
There's rights legislation to make it illegal for asshole bosses to abuse their employees with 5 hours of unpaid overtime every day. Like, how is that legal? So instead of learning the principle of diminishing returns, the Japanese government has decided to fix the birthing crisis with immigration, which sounds sinister. That brings us to this tweet here. You wish this was Pakistan, but it's Hokkaido, Japan. Then it shows a bunch of Middle Easterners mixed in with...
Wow, I didn't know this was gonna be part of his video. He asked me about, he was sharing me clips of this shit like a month ago. Think before you sleep. Every time he would like send me this, like, dude, he was in Japan, I remember, and he was sending me a picture of like a couple of guys with like a Palestine flag, and he was like, uh-oh. I was like, no.
The Japanese people. And actually, in my opinion, one of the most frustrating parts of my recent vacation is that you could be in Japan and have to do like a dice roll to see if you would actually bump into a Japanese person, which is quite annoying when you've studied the language for a bunch of years and you're trying to figure out if you're on the right train platform. And oh shit, none of these people speak Japanese. On top of that, our resident Twitter Korean, Kangmin Lee, points out that this is not just a problem in Japan. He says, every third person I see in Seoul is a foreigner.
Again, I think it's just, it's a materialism mindset. From my perspective, again, one of the most beautiful things that I like about cultures based on biblical values is that, you know, they throw around the term work-life balance. It's a real term. It's a real thing. The first commandment in the Bible is be fruitful and multiply. All right? The whole concept of taking a wife and having children is like a fundamental biblical value. And so is, for the record, the curse of Adam in Genesis 1:1. All right? The curse of Adam is from the sweat of your brow you should eat bread. You have to go to work to make a living. So the whole concept of make a living, support a family, raise a family, support the next generation, that is basic biblical values. And then straight up, that is ultimately the goated lifestyle. Yeah, I'm not trying to be controversial here, but I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you want to follow biblical values because you believe in God, that's great. But even if you don't believe in God, it will give you the best lifestyle. It will give you the best life. So whatever you want to say, this book that was written 3,000+ years ago is just correct and more correct than every sociology libtard you could possibly fucking find. Pretty weird.
And I'll leave that second half for later in the video. But in response to that, I have to say that you shouldn't feel like a foreigner in your own country. I mean, I think the biggest culture shock when I moved to Texas is that I was expecting to see Texans, but ended up getting a bunch of Indian and halal restaurants instead. Then I go to Japan last month and see a bunch of Indian and halal restaurants and signs that
Guys, this is not a global invasion. Calm down, guys. Calm down, Chad.
that say porkless ramen. Now, while I do like Middle Eastern food, I don't eat Indian food for obvious reasons.
Tony, you ate mussels?
Prince Edward Island. Top of the line.
After an entire Indian dinner?
You ate at an Indian restaurant? There you go.
So while I do like Middle Eastern food, I don't think you should be importing so many foreigners that it completely changes the demographics of the native population, legal or illegal.
Given the massive numbers arriving in Western nations daily, well, indeed, for many in the West, the sheer size of those arriving is a level where locals are beginning to feel like outsiders in their own communities, as approximately 22% of Indians expressed a desire to migrate to the United States alone, which is almost the current population of the country in 2025.
Wow.
Yeah, no, stay in India. I'm all for cultural enrichment, but you can't just let an infant...
Are you though? Are you really for cultural enrichment though? Like, are you really?
Amount of people into a...
I personally think that my culture is very rich, personally. I don't actually want to change it. I'm more than happy to be introduced new cuisines and stuff. That's great. Obviously, more than happy to learn about your stuff, for sure. But I actually have the best culture. Not trying to be a hater, because you could see your culture as the best, and that's great. But I see mine as the best. It was actually given to me by God. That's my hot take. God gave me the guidelines for my culture. All right. I don't know where you got yours, but I'm gonna roll my dice on God. All right, I'm gonna do that. That's my hot take.
Country. In fact, as for the U.S., I think we might actually be in a place where we should allow 0 people to immigrate, because you need to give time for the newcomers to learn the language and to assimilate to American values.
California is a cluttered state.
He's doing this on purpose. He's spamming the Charlie Kirk clips.
With social services that are being strained, and we need a pause on all immigration, in my opinion, to metaphorically digest the major meal that we just ate, or else...
I mean, the way I see it, every time someone moves to another country, they should be trying to assimilate to that culture. You should not be joining a country to subvert that culture. And any person that has that concept that they're going to join another nation and they're going to try their best to enrich that nation, in other words, destroy the culture, get them the fuck out. Why are you here? We don't need you here. All right, America's great. All right, we're not trying to make America a little less American and a little more of whatever nation you came from, right? You came as an asylum seeker from war-torn Iraq, all right? We don't want America to be a little more like Iraq, actually. Like, really hot take. We don't want that to happen, all right? Listen, if at all possible.
We are going to have a major assimilation problem, cultural problem, cohesion problem, all sorts of issues. And I know this is a provocative thing to say, but immigration is something that you use as a way to benefit the homeland. You don't have to have immigration.
Right. I don't care if your country of origin sucks, especially if you are not in the U.S. legally.
Look, I care. All right, I am an empath. I care that it sucks. I just don't care enough that I want to poison mine. All right, listen, I can care about two things at the same time. All right, I care about America not becoming Iraq, and I'm also really sorry for the shit that's happening to you in Iraq. All right, I fully recognize these two things as completely truisms. Also, you can literally always move to England, Stan. All right, they always have places. So sorry, Tommy Robinson.
I'm not as empathetic towards outsiders like the average libtard is, because America can't afford to be, and I don't want people here if they aren't immigrating to make my homeland better.
That's right.
Also, if
you are immigrating, you should be doing it with the concept of assimilating. All right? This is not saying that you have to completely disavow all of your former beliefs and stop eating Indian food or whatever. But this means you have to, at the bare minimum, follow every single law, right? You cannot be out here subverting laws. That shit not gonna fly. Deport.
Want to talk about morality, then instead of fleeing the...
It's like, oh, hey, I'm coming to America, and I'm also gonna support an American-designated terrorist organization in the Middle East. No, the fuck you're not. What are you talking about? Are you crazy? We don't want you here. We designated them as terrorists.
Country that you were born in. How about you fight to improve it?
And so legal immigration should always be viewed through the prism. Does it benefit the country and the citizens that are already here?
Right. Again, if the answer is no, then you don't get to come here. Like, if I'm going to move to Japan, I don't move there to steal resources from taxpayers and take their jobs for significantly lower wages. If I'm moving, then I'm moving to 1, learn new cultural values to assimilate to, and 2, benefit Japan as a whole. So if you're immigrating legally or illegally to be a burden on the system or the people, then get out. Like, there shouldn't be a case where there are so many people immigrating that they can just live in their own isolated communities and never learn the country's language. And it's not just foreigners doing that in the U.S. There are plenty of white Americans who move to Japan, stay in their isolated communities for years, and never learn any Japanese. Kick those people out. If you've been living in Japan for 5 or 10 years, then you should be able to speak Japanese fluently at a high level. I don't care if it's hard. If it's too difficult, then don't move there. And by the way, I think a lot of Japanese people would agree with that, as while I was in Osaka, there was an anti-immigration protest going on.
This immigration thing is like a worldwide problem. It's a worldwide issue. The third worlders want to come to first world countries to turn them into third world countries. That is where we're at. It's like a universal society.
Moving on, let's go back to the second half of that tweet that I didn't read. Every third person I see in Seoul is a foreigner, and there are way too many people in hijabs here. How dare he say that? That's Islamophobic.
That is pretty
Again,
Islamophobic
I don't give a shit anymore, especially considering that Muslims hate everything while having the audacity to call you a bigot. Now, that's not to say...
Bro, I just made the video about the Muslim mayor in Dearborn, Michigan that kicked a Christian minister out of the city. Kicked him out of the city because he didn't want to name a main street in the city after a Hezbollah terrorist. He said, yo, maybe we should not be naming it after a Hezbollah terrorist. They murdered hundreds of Americans. And the mayor said, you're Islamophobic, and kicked him out of the city. All right, this is a real thing that just happened. I just made a video on it. It's my most recent video.
That I have an issue with all Muslims, but when it comes to letting infinite people into the West, and I guess the East now too, there must be consideration for the fact that Islam has a shitload of radicals in it who want to take over first world countries and institute an incredibly oppressive system called Sharia law.
I mean, to be honest, that's literally what they say. Like, it's not putting words in their mouth. They say it themselves. This is like a direct quote. Again, it's not every Muslim that's immigrating, for the record. It's not every Muslim. It's the radicals. But there are quite a number of radicals. When there's, billions of Muslims, there's quite a lot of radicals, and they are more than happy to flood your countries with people because their plan is, as I showed in my previous video, they want to conquer the world through the ballot or the bullet. That's a direct quote, ballot or bullet. They want to conquer the world. That is actually in their scripture, right? Realistically. So again, this isn't to say that every single Muslim is a bad guy, of course. Obviously, that's not the case. Everyone is an individual. But as a movement, this is the plan. This directly is the plan.
Every ideal nightmare of a Muslim Europe will come true. They can be as mad as they want.
There it is.
I don't care.
Oh, very good. Listen,
I'll be a Muslim country. Russia will be a Muslim country.
Bro, why is there a thing called Islamophobia, but there isn't a thing called Christophobia? All right, can we call this guy Christophobic, please? He wants to go out there and conquer Christian countries. Can we call him Christophobic, please?
Islam will enter every house. We have to be a part of that change and never, ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never, ever compromise. We're uncompromising.
Yep.
Right, and I'm
as they say in England, inshallah.
going to be unapologetic and uncompromising when I say that you can get the hell out of my country. How dare these people respond to criticism by screaming Islamophobia like crying children when they openly say shit like this?
The Messenger Muhammad said that, if the Muslims have authority and they have the ability to remove oppression, they must remove the oppression. So we believe man-made law is oppression, because they are implementing non-Islamic law, violating their own sanctity. So, if we are in a position...
The first vote for Sharia law will be the last vote the nation ever has.
...of power and authority, we are obliged to take that authority, with the minimum force and to implement the Sharia, certainly. So, this will be the case one day in Britain. And I hope that can come in a very peaceful way.
I gotta say, I appreciate the honesty. It's very nice of him, because it says in the Quran that Muslims are allowed to lie to non-Muslims, because non-Muslims are like animals and cattle. So honestly, this is pretty good. This is like very nice of him. We should be grateful
that we can do that in a way, where there's no bloodshed.
That interview was from
Deus Vult.
2012, so this is nothing new from Islam. They've been saying this stuff publicly for...
Kafir? Yeah, kafir is Muslim for a non-believer. Basically a non-Muslim. And to quote the Quran, smite the kafir at the neck, to quote the Quran. There are some radicals. Let's just say there are some radicals that take this very seriously.
A long time. But let me translate this for you to remove all the polite bullshit. He is kindly saying...
He's kindly saying we want to conquer your nations and implement Sharia law, where if a woman's hair is uncovered in the street, we can publicly execute them. Something like that.
That if you don't accept Islam, they will kill you. But they'll peacefully kill you because Islam is a religion of peace. Sarcasm aside, pushing back against people...
No, because you're the oppressor. Because anyone trying to enforce any laws that are not laws according to Sharia... All right, again, I've done my research here. Any law that's implemented by anyone that's not Sharia law is oppression. It's man-made oppression because it didn't come from the Prophet Muhammad. So therefore, they're still the victims as they kill you. That is the strategy. If you are trying to enforce law that's not Sharia law, then you are an oppressor, and they should kill you. Just to kind of put this in the right perspective.
Who want you dead for believing different things is not bigotry.
Again, this is largely radicals, but there are a lot of them.
They are the assholes. So there's tons of videos of radical Islamists talking about taking down the West, and to that I'll say, if you want to live under Islam, then go to the Middle East. Go to Africa. No one's stopping you. These people are not trying to assimilate to our values. They're trying to...
And the funny thing is when they hit you with the, you're a colonial religion? How dare you are a colonial empire? America's a colonizers? Bro, dude, how are there 50 plus Muslim majority countries? How did that happen? That was colonization. This is the ultimate colonial religion. Like, what are we talking about?
Take over so they can forcefully impose their values, and they're already doing that. It's already bad in Europe where they're just taking over entire cities and replacing the local government with Sharia law. And in America, they're slowly trying to do the same.
I understand that our Somali communities are all connected to each other. I'm here in...
What do you mean? You are literally in America running for mayor in America. This is a Minnesota guy, right?
Minnesota and back home. And I ask for your support. There's always been a link.
Back home? But you're American. What do you mean? Human beings their cultures aren't different than each other. According to my gay leftist transsexual college professor, humans are just interchangeable numbers. Cultures don't mean anything. What does he mean by back home?
between our community here, as well as back home.
Back home?
And I'm running to bridge that gap and unite all of us.
Well, why are we uniting all of us? Listen, no hate, bro. No hate. Why are we uniting all of us, man? This is crazy.
And I'm hoping to do that just like Abdurazak, inshallah.
What do you mean back home? If you consider Somalia to be your home, then go there. Get out
As they say in France, inshallah.
of America. I mean, I was born in California, but when I say home, I don't mean California anymore. I mean Texas. I moved here for a reason, and I moved here to become a Texan and absorb their values because Texan values have led to a better state, in my opinion. Well, except for Jasmine Crockett. Texas screwed up on that
I mean, she's cooked.
one. But as for America, I don't want people here who consider themselves to be something else before they consider themselves to be Americans. Also, nothing has run positive PR for Islam like the Free Palestine movement has. And
yeah, that's the craziest thing. Again, it's the same victim idea mentality. Dude, you just look at the war between Israel and Gaza. I feel like most people don't even know what's actually going on. That's the craziest part. Yes, lots of people are dying, but you have to recognize this is after 20 years of Hamas, the elected government of Gaza. A lot of people don't know this. Israel gave Gaza to Palestinians in 2005 to completely govern themselves. Since then, 30,000 missiles were fired from Gaza into civilian cities in Israel. Like, again, that's retarded. That's insane. There should not be one missile flying into a civilian city. There shouldn't have been one. There were 30,000 before the war even started. All right, just to put things into perspective. That's insane. Then the war started. They came in. They murdered 1,200 people. They raped people. They took hostages. They still have hostages. They could end the war at any time. And now, in the history of warfare, let me explain to you how this works. In the history of warfare, when someone's losing the war, they surrender to save their people, right? When America bombed Japan twice, they surrendered. When Germany got bombed by England, they surrendered. That's how wars end, either by obliteration or surrender. Hamas refuses to surrender because they want to maximize their civilian casualties because they say they're martyrs that die for God, and therefore they're doing good by dying for God because essentially every single person that dies in Gaza is a propaganda weapon against Israel. Now again, this isn't I don't want these civilians to die, but Hamas does. Are we on the same page? That's insane. They refuse to surrender, and that's where we're at. So again, I feel like people aren't willing to recognize the fact that there's something wrong there, man. The elected government is more than happy to kill all of their people to make them martyrs for a propaganda war. Yeah, so anyway, that's where we're at.
I'll say that war is horrible, but the minute that you guys start promoting terrorism in the U.S., which they do constantly, is the minute they lose sympathy from me. And personally, I think we should deport every person in this country who is not a U.S. citizen if they support terrorism in the U.S.
I completely agree. I said that earlier. If you're not an American citizen, but you're supporting an American designated terrorist organization, literally, motherfucker, you're here, get the fuck out.
Get these people out of the country. They do not belong in civilized society. And if they want to go live in a war zone, then the world outside of America has a lot of great options. But I mean, these Free Palestine people are everywhere. They were in Japan when
It's paid propaganda. That's crazy. He sent me this picture when he was there. No, it's paid propaganda also, because you have to understand. Again, think about it rationally. 100,000 Christians were murdered in Nigeria. 100,000. That's double the amount of casualties that were in Gaza. 100,000 Christians were murdered in Nigeria. I did not see one protest, one college kid that even knew this happened, because they weren't propagandized to care about that. All right? And that's all of these people. It's up to 100,000. 7,000 this year alone. 7,000 this year alone. 100,000 over the last 10 years. That's a genocide. They want to wipe out the Christian population in Nigeria. 5.5 million killed in the Congo. 650,000 killed in Syria. 400,000 killed in Yemen. No one cares about any of these. None of that matters. None of it matters at all because the violence is being done by Islam. But when the violence is done not by Islam, that's a global issue. And Palestine becomes the most drummed up controversy in the history of the world.
was there, which was weird, because what the hell does Israel or Palestine...
And again, I feel bad for every civilian. Every innocent person that dies is truly, honestly, a tragedy. But you could fucking miss me with your fake, overdrummed, empathized bullshit. It's all virtue signaling.
Palestine have to do with Japan. And I mean, you can't even buy a phone without one of these asshole activists saying that you're pro-genocide.
All right, just like last year and previous years before that, it's iPhone Day.
Apple supports genocide. Oh my god, it's crazy, dude. You want to know about genocide? Egypt used to be a Christian majority nation. It's currently a Muslim majority nation. How did that happen? Same with Syria. Same with Libya. Same with Iran. Same with Jordan. Same with Lebanon. How are all of these nations Christian majority and currently not? How did that happen? How have they all lost hundreds of thousands of Christians? They didn't just fall off the country. It's kind of weird, honestly. Deus Vult. God wills it.
That specific protest was for Africa, but these people all have the exact same beliefs, so I guarantee you that chick has a watermelon in her profile. 24 years ago, a group of Muslims killed 2,753 people on 9/11. Now a Muslim socialist is on pace to run New York City. This is in reference to Zohran Mamdani, and this tweet is showing its age a bit because I believe Mamdani is actually going to win at this point. And we have Harry Sisson, who always just has the best takes on Twitter, saying, Charlie Kirk is a sick, racist piece of trash. Just put the
These people are completely retarded.
Klan hood on already, Charlie.
Harry Pisson, the Klan hood was worn by the Democrats. Pay attention.
Wow, that escalated quickly. Also, may I remind everyone that it was the Democrats that founded the KKK, and it was the Republicans who died to end slavery in America. I wasn't sure if Harry knew that history. Outside of that, shut up, no one cares. Go back to pretending that you like women. And by the way, just...
One brain cell. Oh, come on, dude. Oh my god, that's crazy. Dude, this was not planned. This was not coordinated. Both Think Before You Sleep and I came to the same conclusion. Okay, listen. We are so back. We cooked him so badly. Dude, one person calling him gay? Okay, that's rough. All right, that's pretty bad. All right, whatever. Sure, whatever. Dude, this was crazy. And not pre-watched. He just uploaded this video. I didn't even watch this. That's crazy.
Just in case you were blackpilled on all this and don't understand the power of giving these people the middle finger, allow me to point you to Dearborn, Michigan, which has a high
I knew you would do this.
Muslim population, and they seem to be doing things like slowly taking over the government and the police force. Some of the native population isn't too happy about that. This guy wrote some pretty angry posts on Facebook, which I think are bad. However, much to probably the dismay of people on the right who want to criticize the left for their violent words, this is currently considered protected speech, unless it's a direct, credible threat or an incitement that leads to an act of violence soon after it was said. Even though that's the case, he was still arrested. So I have to say that if that guy got arrested for what he said on Facebook, is Dearborn going to arrest this guy too?
And in the form that it must come is that this empire, the American empire that's been hurting our people since the beginning, the imperial Western powers that have been hurting our people since the beginning, they must fall. And
I'm a victim. These people suck balls. All right, I'll be real. Literally shut the fuck up and get out of my country. Why are we dealing with it? Why are we dealing this? He is basically admitting he came to America to destroy it. He came to America to destroy it. That's what he's saying. He wants a revolution to wipe out America because he doesn't like the American empire.
Inshallah, they will fall. And my message to the people of Gaza.
He's saying inshallah means with God's will. He's saying with God's will, America will collapse. Why are we tolerating these people here?
And the oppressed peoples across the world is that there are people here, both young and old.
I can't stand this oppressed people around the world fucking fake ass victim mentality bullshit, alright? This is unbelievable levels of retardation, and I don't know anyone else that calls it out, alright? So I'll call it out. These are Yazidi girls, a minority group of people that were captured by ISIS, I'm pretty sure this was in Syria, and burnt alive in iron cages for refusing to convert to Islam and become sex slaves. All right? For the record, no one ever cried about that. All right? Obviously, support for Palestine. No one cares about the Yazidis because they don't have a global propaganda network. All right? So this shit went completely under the rug. So I literally can't stand the fake humanity. It's so annoying. All the empathy that's literally fully propagandized and weaponized. And I bet you no one in my chat even knew anything about that because the media doesn't care. No one's sitting there protesting. No one cares. Literally, get the fuck out.
Going to be willing to fight and are willing to put their lives and everything they can on the line to bring these empires down. So
why are you here? He's literally saying he's in the country to destroy it. Why are we dealing with this?
Must come down.
I mean, he was more well-spoken, but make no mistake, this guy was also promoting violence, just like that guy on Facebook. Are you going to arrest him too? Or are you racist assholes going to enforce the laws unequally when it...
It's because they also want to wipe out Western civilization. That's also the goal.
...comes to punishing your own? Anyway, Dearborn decided to start boiling the frog a bit by releasing an optional police badge with Arabic writing on it to show unity and diversity with the Arabic population, or some other bullshit lie they're using to slowly...
Again, that's the crazy thing is, like, they will use the empathy of the retards on the far left in order to subvert and take over. Like, they use your weakness.
...spread prejudice against anyone who isn't a part of Islam. However, it got so much backlash that they memory hold it a day later. And I'll say that if you guys want Arabic writing on your police badges, then go back to the Middle East. This place is for Americans, and clearly you don't consider yourself to be American. Do you see the power of not giving a shit if they call you racist? Also, by the way, these statements aren't racist, as I would be more than
literally, thank God for freedom of speech.
Happy to accommodate Middle Easterners who want to be Americans. However, radical leftists are still going to call you a bigot anyway, so why even care at this point? Why are we letting them get away with these stupid policies?
Can someone smarter than me help me very genuinely understand why I'm supposed to care if people immigrate to the US illegally? Like, obviously...
Welcome to libtard, cucked mindset of the average white woman Karen empath. All humans are the same. All cultures are the same. All people are equal. There are no differences between people. We are just clumps of cells floating around a nihilistic universe. That's where we're up to. That's where we're at. That is what they're pushing onto every single one of you. Every single one of you.
Some people are just racist, and some people are just stupid.
Some cultures are just worse, all right? And some cultures want to rape you, and they will, all right? And other cultures are more, let's say, advanced in that regard and won't rape you. All right, that's the difference. All right, I'm sorry. Don't want to be controversial. Did you know, you want to hear a statistic that might shock you to your core? It might shock you a little bit. Did you know that 99% of women in Egypt were sexually assaulted? Are you aware of that statistic? Does that statistic scare you? Does that statistic scare you? People in my chat don't believe me. All you need to do is look up 99% Egypt. I'm sure it'll be the first fucking result because it's an insane statistic. All right, I'm seeing 1999 stuff. There we go. Wikipedia. You don't even need to look at weird things, right? Mass sexual assault in Egypt. All right. Yeah, that's what we're up to, man. All right, let's go to the 99%. All right, so according to a 2008 survey by the Egyptian Center for Women's Rights, 83% of Egyptian women said they experienced sexual harassment, as did 98% of women from overseas while in Egypt. A 2013 study in Egypt by UN Women found that 99.3% of female respondents said they have been sexually harassed. All right, that's what we're up to, man. Do you think that bringing people from this culture would make your culture better? Like, do you think it would improve your life if you implanted a community of these people?
Don't understand why this should bother me in any way if as many people as want to come here.
You must be racist if you don't want that.
So if somebody could help me understand that, that would be great, because right now I just don't know why I should give a shit.
No.
All right, so my solution would be spend a month in Egypt and then get back to me.
Ring, of course. However, why don't we educate her? This story is not from America, but it's from Europe, where in Germany, an illegal Iraqi migrant killed a 16-year-old Ukrainian girl by pushing her in front of...
Dude, Ukrainian girls are just leaving Ukraine to go around the world and get killed by minorities. This is heartbreaking, man.
...a train. Remember when the left made Ukraine their entire personality? Anyway, it turns out that he had a deportation order, but it wasn't carried out. And don't worry, Germany.
Dude, we need to fucking punish the judges and the law enforcement that's not actually enforcing laws. Like, these people need to actually taste consequences for this shit.
Illegals who are supposed to be deported kill Americans too, so we can sympathize. So to answer Ms. Nosering's question, that's why.
I think we should abolish jail and we should allow all the violent immigrants.
We should allow them to what?
Stay here.
Do you think that we could abolish
suicidal empathy?
Jails, get all the violent immigrants. Could we put them here at USF on campus?
Yes, and I'll hang out with them.
You'll hang out?
I think that she should lose her ability to vote. Like, she should immediately, like, this is retarded.
With them? Would you take in a violent MS-13 gang member? Would you room with one?
People give people labels all the time. And gangs are there for a reason. Gangs are there for community.
I hate these people so much, bro. Like, and the reason why, they advocate for things that will kill other people. That's
the biggest mistake we ever made was let women vote. Bro, the hyper-feminized society is fucking insane. Don't worry, guys. I am joking. Or am I?
That's the reason why I hate them. And they do it because it makes them feel good. Like, these people are sitting in some safe college campus. Nothing bad's ever going to happen.
Right. They sit in their nice neighborhoods saying this dogma so they can get social points among their idiot college friends. Meanwhile, their dumb ideas prey on lower income communities who are actually affected by them. Also, continuing the conversation on illegals and migrants, I mean, like, watch any video about France and you'll see it's full of migrants who are scammers and the police just refuse to arrest or deport them.
How much for a big one? Big one, 15 euros. How much did you pay? Small ones. For how much? 1 euro. Oh, that's a pretty good deal. Could we do 3 euro?
Look, my friend.
Yeah, I saw this video.
If you have a camera of any sorts and they press you, they say you can't film, they say you can't do anything because it's their country now. I'm visiting, I can't take a photo of the Eiffel Tower. The police, nowhere in sight. Please, God, deport them all. Holy shit.
I mean, scammers are so prevalent in Paris that it's a whole content meta that gets crazy views. People are furious about this problem, but Europe does nothing to stop them. However, do you know who European governments will arrest? Teenage girls who try to stop migrants from assaulting their sisters.
This video is heartbreaking.
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't have fucking profit.
Hold the knife. Hold the knife. Hold the knife. Hold the knife.
Bro, this is a 12-year-old girl carrying an axe and a knife to protect herself in Scotland. This is obviously not the first time this happened to her.
That's it. That's it. Hold the knife. Hold the knife. That's it.
That's my little sister. She has 12.
Don't touch my little sister. She's 12. Dude, this is horrifying.
We're talking touching me. She has to get 12 and you just battered me, man.
The full facts of this story are a little murky because it's a recent event, but we do have an article from the Courier that says, Bulgarian dad branded as a monster over a knife incident. Then they have this beautiful family picture.
Dude, is that not just insane? Is that not crazy, man? And she's the bad guy in this story? This 12-year-old girl?
What a wonderful, innocent couple. Look at this happy photo here with the baby. Isn't that sweet? Oh shit, it looks like you forgot to cover up the neck tattoo in that one. Why didn't you guys show this photo in your article? Weird. Anyway, the girl with a knife and the hatchet named Lola was arrested.
She became an actual... She was arrested? I knew she became like a national symbol, but that's crazy.
And the suggestion from the old media outlets is that she was the aggressor. But considering that the girls are saying get away from...
Thank God for Twitter. If Elon Musk, if we wouldn't have X, we wouldn't know what actually happened.
From us, as the guy's moving towards a person with weapons, asking her to show them, which I imagine he did in an attempt to exonerate himself by getting her arrested. Personally, I think he was the aggressor. You don't run unarmed.
She's a 12-year-old girl. Of course he was the aggressor. What are we even talking about?
Towards a person with weapons if you're being victimized. Here's a retelling of the story from the mother of one of the girls where she adds more details. So I think the girls were telling the truth, and now supposedly this happy family man has been arrested and charged for assaulting one of them to the point of hospitalization. Why do we know all this? God, because of Twitter. If it wasn't for Twitter, there probably would have been a very different outcome here. But don't worry, because, you know, the British police are busy arresting people for making jokes.
We love bacon.
How can you saying we love bacon to Muslims? That's insane.
Arrested for saying he likes bacon.
And what's that? You're not allowed to say you like bacon, but he's around here, lad.
Can you explain that to me, please?
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. There's no way. This is so cucked, man.
It's anything that might be perceived to be racially abusive.
This is un-
It might be perceived to be racially abusive. That's crazy. Did you know they just arrested a Jewish man in England for being outwardly Jewish? And it offends Muslims to see an outwardly Jewish man? Did you know this just happened in England? Like, this is breaking news. This just happened like 2-3 days ago. Let me find this clip. This is crazy. I really want to find this clip because this... Yeah, here it is. This is the most insane shit I've ever seen in my entire life. You are quite openly Jewish.
You are quite Jewish, Palestinian marks, right? I'm not accusing you of anything, but I'm worried about the reaction. If you're out of this area, so you can go about your business, go where you like freely, or if you choose to remain...
You are causing a breach of peace because you are openly Jewish. You will be arrested. You are licensed to be Jewish. Show me your penis. Are you even circumcised? We can't arrest you if you're not circumcised. Bro, that's... What the fuck, man?
Unreal. That's a skit, right? Isn't this ridiculous? It's so ridiculous that I have multiple videos of people being arrested for offensive words.
I think I'm going back to me. You're under arrest for Section 4A public order offence.
My
call
the
circumstances for why you're being arrested.
Am I being arrested? I've been arrested. For what I've done?
There's been a member of the public who you've apparently been shouting at calling him a muppet.
Right, a muppet, yeah.
He's getting arrested because he called someone a muppet. I'm never going to England. I'm never going to England.
And?
You caused him alarm and distress.
She's very upset.
Caused a lot of distress. Holy fucking bitch fest. What is happening?
This is unbelievable. They're arresting this guy because he hurt someone's feelings. That's 2 of them. What the hell is going on in England? I mean, stuff like that makes this video incredibly ironic.
Would you move to America in 2025?
No, never. No.
No interest in moving there. It's a complete hole.
No, because I am transgender.
You'd step over there already.
You can keep him. You can keep him. It's okay. It's okay. You know what, England? You know what? Power to you.
You lose like 10 of the rights that you have here.
They just think
you lose 10 of the rights. These people are all retarded. These people are all brainwashed because there's no logical way you could actually think this way. They're all brainwashed.
At the best, they're like, oh my god, we have freedom, but most other countries have freedom. You don't have.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
Like,
oh my, they were brainwashed into thinking they have rights, dude.
Free speech at all there.
I wouldn't last a minute.
There, you don't have free speech.
Over there, I don't think. It's definitely stricter over there than it is over here.
Right, I'll let the country that arrests people for saying they like bacon in front of a mosque construction site teach me what it means to be free. Anyway, let's talk about black people.
Black people are 13% of the population, and they commit 50% of the
I love this clip so much.
murders. You can look it up.
Over-policed. Oh no, this isn't the clip I was thinking. Over-policed. Over-policed. Oh no. Bro, the reason why they're over-policed is because they're doing over 50% of the murders. Holy shit.
Wait, you.
What's your source?
The FBI, the Department of Justice. You look it up. Anyone can look it on your phone. It is a fact that blacks have a disproportionate amount of the violent crime in their community.
Y'all don't f***ing understand statistics. How you speak on numbers?
Here are the 2019
Your statistics are racist?
statistics on.
My favorite clip with Charlie Kirk is when he said that to a black gentleman, and the guy's like, that's not true, and then he looked it up, and he fucking fell down. He was so shocked. He actually fucking, like, fell off his fucking chair because he looked up the stats, and it was true.
That's slightly old, but I have no reason to think they've changed that much. But you can see that black people commit homicide at 4 times their population size, and basically in every other category outside of drunk driving, they commit crimes at 2 to 3 times their population size.
Come up to the mic and call me a racist to my face, or are you an intellectual coward and want to shout it from 30 feet away? Come on up. Come on. Call me a racist.
You're a fucking racist.
Fuck you. I don't care what you call me because it's not racist. It's
to quote JD Vance, JD 48, Just Dance Vance 48. I don't give a shit what you call it, dipshit.
Called compassion. And we're pointing the stats out so that these communities don't have to deal with these problems anymore, because the reality is that if you're a black person and you get murdered, like 90% of the time it was done by another black person.
Yeah.
So when you try to silence someone by calling them racist, the only thing I can assume is that you hate black people and want them to stay in crime-infested, fatherless ghettos. Compassion is saying that they don't deserve to live like that, so let's fix the problem.
There was laws put in place to put them into prison.
Bro, they're killing people. It's not about over-policing. This isn't about arrests. This is murders.
And after...
It's okay. No, what's your name? Oh, guys, what's your name? Jackson.
Jackson.
It takes a lot of courage to come up here.
Yeah, no,
Let's just take a deep breath. Okay, I'm not...
The world is a darker place now without Charlie Kirk. Dude, he like...
I'm here to pick on you, and I appreciate it. Here's my perspective, and I want to hear what you have to say, is that the number one way to keep people out of poverty, lower the crime rate, and have a better society is whether or not you have a mom and a dad around. Would we agree that's an ideal? Yeah? Cool. Yeah. And so what happened in 1964 is that 25% of black youth were raised by a single mom. Today, it's nearly 75%, about 70%. So that means that 1 in 4 black kids will have a father around. Only 1 in 4. That's the number one issue happening in the country, and it's not because of systemic racism. I'd like to hear what you have to say about that.
Okay, so I think I misjudged you at first. Like, I think we are on the same page that, like, we know what the problem is. Like,
no,
how do we get there?
Well, the first of which is you must raise the standard of expectation, both internally and externally in the black community, that we're not going to put up with men, because we're both men, fleeing the women that they impregnate. Yeah. That we will say to men that flee the women that they impregnate, you're a loser, we're not going to tolerate you, we're not going to be friends with you, we need to demand better. Thank you for coming up to the mic. I know it's not easy, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
They took him from us, man. They took him from us. I can't believe they took him from us. I can't believe it, man. Never forget. Never forget what we lost. It's not that he was the best debater, right? It's not that he was the epicist at rattling facts off the top of his head, but he was the best of us. Can't believe he's gone. Zero racism, by the way, in his answer, even though they're all claiming that he was someone spreading hate and racism. Dude.
Have a good day, sir.
You gonna call that one racist too? How about we start shaming these deadbeats who don't know how to use a condom and keep abandoning their kids, and shame the mothers who let losers impregnate them?
True.
The people trying to silence everyone pointing this stuff out are not your friends, and that BLM terrorist organization doesn't like black people either. They're stealing charity money to enrich themselves with multi-million-dollar content creator mansions to kick off their creator careers. Meanwhile, like 90% of the people who have over 1 million subs started out in their mother's basement. And don't forget they said they wanted to destroy black families on their website, but promptly removed it when they got called out for it. Which brings us to BLM's biggest enemy. Security cameras, cell phones, and police
body cams ended the Black Lives Matter movement. This is
body cam footage.
Body cams have ended. Dude, dude, this happens to me every single time someone uses a clip of me. I just jump scare myself. That's crazy.
Security cameras, cell phones, and police body cam footage.
Body cams have ended the Black Lives Matter movement. They have, because it turns out the vast majority of the time where, you know, police do kill somebody, it's actually justified. It is a minority of times, a huge minority, when it's not justified.
Really? I can't show.
That dude was cooking. That dude was right. He was spitting facts. There was not one lie detected. Damn. That was a good-looking fellow, too, by the way. Just saying. I'm just saying. That guy, he knew what he was talking about.
Because it's not YouTube safe, but if you've ever been on Twitter for more than 5 minutes, then you would know that a certain population would have much better interactions with the police if they were polite and stopped trying to violently assault the officers.
Good morning, sir. I'm Officer Steven. What'd you pull me over for, bro? The reason I pulled you over. Look, he don't even got a reason. Like, y'all always doing this shit, bro. Sir, you were going 95 and a 20 during school zone hours while kids were crossing the street. Yes, I was, but I guarantee you if I was you wouldn't have pulled me over. You only pulled me over because I bet my life on it. I bet my life on it.
As I've said in multiple videos,
Bro can't breathe.
Nobody is more mad at these BLM supporters than black people who follow the law and want to live in peaceful communities.
True, by the way. I'm just saying. For real. Black people suffer from this shit. All right? It's not me. All right? Mostly. It's not me. It's these people. Because realistically, what hurts the black community more than a clip of a retarded black man stabbing Iryna Zarutska on a subway? What hurts the black community more? Like, let's be real.
This is generally the case for anybody who is a part of any race where bad actors make all the good people look bad.
This is not our area.
What do you mean?
This is not our area.
It's not an area for what?
You have to call 911 to report that incident. We're just by.
What? I was walking down the block and she got assaulted right here, so I came up to the car to ask her and tell her about the report. And I do with y'all. Ain't you 911 though? Ain't you 911? Ain't you 911?
Holy shit, fire.
Someone over their marshmallow. Oh my gosh. She big. Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. Holy shit, she built like a hockey puck. That's crazy. My god, dude. That's insane. Holy shit, look at this. Look at this, man. Taxpayer dollars funding a fucking meatball to be a bro. That's insane, man. That's insane. Bro, she looks like a chicken bottom. Oh, you know the chicken thigh? She looks like she built like a chicken thigh. That's crazy. She has that physique of like 4 donuts stacked one over the other. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. Oh my god, I'm actually crying from inside. The black community will never again. She just rolls attack. Oh my lord, sorry. Okay, stop. I have to stop. Anyway. Oh my god. Actual tears. Oh my god, dude. Holy shit.
This chick, if you eat so many donuts on a daily basis that you have to waddle into the precinct to clock in, then you don't deserve to be a police officer. Like, what's with them hiring cops or security who are clearly unfit for the job? I mean, do you think this 4'5", 80-pound woman is going to save you if you're being attacked by a real criminal? Second, what do you mean, sorry, this is not our section? What the hell? You're literally the police. What do you mean he has to call 911? Call 911 and wait 10 minutes for the bad guy to flee when cops are standing right in front of him?
It's insane. It's a gender-bent penguin from Batman. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Bro, she built like the squash from Plants vs. Zombies. Oh my god, dude, I just got fucking killed. I don't know, man. That's insane. Anyway.
What kind of stupid policy is this, and why aren't you disobeying it? You're letting criminals get away. So everybody's tired of putting up with shit like this. I'm going to cut here because we're about to hit a part that's not YouTube safe, but spoilers, the white guy gets assaulted, and the worst part is that the bus is full of able-bodied people who have every opportunity to stop the assault, who just sit there and do nothing. Well, I guess one of them did film it. Also, they let the violent criminal escape. What are you assholes doing? How dare you let that happen? People like you are a part of the reason.
That's why we need, like, what's going on in society? Like, why wouldn't you stand up for your fellow man? For real, for real. It's insane.
Why America has so much crime. The criminals do it because they know nobody will try to stop them.
That's right.
Well, except for this guy. This guy stopped the criminal. But no, it's racist to talk about statistics. It's racist to prevent crime. Are we all fatigued from these race grifters yet?
Do something more interesting, like call me a or something. Holy shit.
I love this clip. He asks for it, and then she does it, and then he gets all fake offended, like he's a victim.
I'm live in front of 13,000 people. You just ruined your college. Yeah.
I do not give a rat's fat ass.
So say it again. Call me a again. I'm live right now. You think I'm joking? I'm actually live on stream right now. Yeah, your whole life is ruined now. Congrats. Yeah.
Wow, what a hero. What a hero, guys. What a hero. He's so proud that he was able to taunt her into saying a word and now ruin her life over it. Nah, this shit's boring and old. Boring and old. I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. Do not care.
Nobody cares. It's just a word. Clearly, you aren't that offended by it because you asked her to call you it multiple times.
Exactly.
So why are you trying to ruin this girl's life? Again, literally nobody cares. Also, apparently, there have been like 100 non-black influencers who have said it, and I know it.
By the way, for the record, this is the same guy that got all fake offended that she said the N-word, in case you're curious. This is the same guy. Let's see what he has to say in this clip over here. I'm sure it'll be insightful and teach us lots of things, like the difference between good and evil.
I don't know who started it. I don't give a damn who started it. They are wrong. All Jews!
Yeah, so, K-slur, kill all Jews.
All right, now, that's from my own personal experience.
Anyway, pretty weird how that happens.
At least most of these people's careers are fine.
And this is what I've said before. The people don't want to defund the police. They want to be the police. They don't want to stop censorship. They want to be the censors. They don't want to stop racism. They want to be the ones in charge of who gets to be racist. And once you understand that all of the language is just in service of them maintaining a power structure for themselves, everything else makes sense.
Right, because make no mistake, these people are far, and I mean far more racist than some edgy young people who want to use gamer language. So we're done with all the accusations from people who are objectively worse human beings. And we're done with people trying to cover up crimes because the person happens to be of a certain race. I mean, look at this shit. Guy assaults a child and was free from jail despite 6 violent arrests. We have
Why do we don't need to live like this? We just need to keep these people in the hole.
another one who killed a white lady, and the reason that he was able to do that is because they kept letting him go.
Bro was arrested 40 times. 40 times.
If you have 40 arrests, then you need to be quarantined from the rest of society. You aren't going to be rehabilitated. We pay taxes to stop this. Why are we forced to live with a violent maniac?
I agree.
Oh, and if you weren't mad enough, speaking of cameras, a few years back, San Francisco Public Transit refused to release security footage for fear that it would make people racist. Why? Because it's all the same group doing all the violence?
Oh my god, dude, this is the fucking Norm Macdonald tweet all over again. It's like, my biggest fear is if ISIS detonates a nuclear bomb and kills 100 million Americans, think of the backlash on peaceful Muslims. Dude, this is the fucking Norm Macdonald tweet all over again.
Why don't we shine some light on the problem and try to discuss what cultural factors might have led to that so we can prevent it? That's not racism. The racist is the person who thinks that violent criminals should be above public criticism. Certain toxic cultural ideas shouldn't be allowed to reign free.
True.
Like, what the hell is this? There's a guy who's walking around painting over graffiti, and people are mad saying that he's erasing black culture. So vandalism is black...
Bro, that's crazy. Vandalism is black culture? There's no way.
Black culture? Here, let me show you some more culture.
So you went back in there and paid for a candy that she had already walked out the store with. Yeah, why would you do that? I would never do something like that. I would just leave.
It's called integrity.
That dad is so
What? Why would you go back and pay for it?
fatigued. He's trying to raise his daughter to not be a
Yeah, bro has integrity. True.
criminal, and the mom is trying to stop him. You can see he's pissed. But I've seen a number of videos like this, and immediately when people get called out for committing crimes, they revert to calling everyone racist to escape negative feedback.
True. There are, by the way, infinite of these clips. That's where the fatigue comes from.
Shut up.
Yeah.
She said that after causing quite a bit of property damage. This arrest was well-deserved, and a part of the reason that she thinks she can try to wipe her crimes away with racism allegations is because BLM did that with thugs and murderers for like a decade. But I digress. These are people who think that
That's every single one. You know, it's raising money for Carmelo Anthony, the black guy that murdered a white kid, you know?
Killmonger from Black Panther is the hero. There's something deeply wrong with this part of the culture, and again, no one is more mad about this than other black people.
You want to know the best example ever? Someone just died. What's the name of that lady? Sasker? Don't remember what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up. Someone just died. Well, lots of people died, so that's not exactly narrowing it down. What's the name of that lady? You have to be more specific than just hissing. I'm trying, man. I'll find it. I'll tell you. I'll find it, man. I'll find it. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. You might not see. The lady that killed a cop and she ended up leaving. She killed a cop. She ran away. She just died. CNN said that she was an activist when she was actually like a cop killer. There's no way you don't know who I'm talking about. Bro, shocker? Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Yes, Sireno. Yes, Sireno. Yeah. Asata Shakur dies at 78. Convicted revolutionary found refuge in Cuba. This is a murderer bank robber, for the record. Praised, for the record, by these three people. Rep. Presley, Rep. Clark, Rep. Lee. These are people from the government, obviously all Democrats. They mourned the convicted cop killer Shakur yesterday. And all three of them opposed the resolution to honor Charlie Kirk, an innocent man that was murdered. Yeah, so for the record, fuck you. We're not the same. We're not the same. You're evil. You are evil.
Because, you know, when people stop criminals, guess who's the most happy? That's right, black people.
It's quiet, young. And I don't know if you ever had to deal with the DC government, young, but they suck, young. Stuff been out of control for years.
Finally able to chill at a red light with my window down, not worried about if one of them young niggas is coming. Ride through the city, more safe than I ever felt.
Yeah, pretty good, huh?
Yeah, isn't it nice? This is how it could be everywhere. That is how it should be everywhere.
All you need to do is actually arrest the
Anyway,
criminals.
did you guys hear about what happened on that train in North Carolina?
If you watch this video, this guy was sitting minding his own.
This was the last show Charlie Kirk did before he was assassinated.
She was minding her own business. She was also dressed in like baggy clothes, comes up, takes out a knife, stabs her to death. 14 times he was previously arrested. Situations like this are a nearly daily occurrence in our cities.
I feel like this was the moment that people started to lose it. And the reason for that is because if you watch the uncensored video, it is more terrifying than any horror film I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't want to go over...
I watched it. It's a nightmare. And it's like, when it's a terrorist attack that's based on some sort of ideology, like you rationalize it a little bit. This was for no reason. Just got up and for no reason stabbed her in the neck. And she just bled out over the next 10 seconds. It was so evil. It was so evil.
The most egregious parts of the footage for obvious reasons, but fortunately someone has made an artistic dramatization of the event. Basically what happened is that this girl was an immigrant. Remember how the radical left and the legacy...
Not an immigrant, a refugee. An actual refugee from a war. Not one of these asylum seekers that just call themselves an asylum seeker because they want a better life.
Media says they love immigrants. An immigrant who escaped from Ukraine. Again, remember how they used to talk about Ukraine nonstop? She was a 23-year-old...
Because it's all virtue signaling. None of these people care. It's all fake empathy. You have to understand, empathy was designed for you to have for, like, let's say your children, all right? If you are a mom, you should have empathy for your children, obviously, right? That, as a hypothetical. The leftoid mind has been so rotted by cancer and lack of an actual moral system because they reject God and every form of moral system they possibly could find, they end up needing to find other places for empathy. There are over 1 million abortions a year in America, all right? From an empathy perspective, you people are fucking murdering your babies. You could shut up with your empathy. I know you don't have it, but you just convince yourself you have it and convince yourself that you're a good person by arbitrarily fake caring about different issues around the world. So you'll put a Ukrainian flag in your bio, as long as it doesn't actually mean you need to take a stand. So you'll put a Palestine flag in your bio. Not that that is even remotely the biggest tragic situation that's going on in the Middle East right now, but that's it. That's it. Fake empathy. That's where we're up to, man. That's where we're at. That's why I don't fall for this anymore. The empathy shit is over. I hear someone say empathy and my eyes just glaze over. Like I know this person's a retard that's virtue signaling.
White BLM supporter, apparently,
That's right.
who sat on the train and was brutally killed before she even knew what was going on. And I will say that as someone who has been cut severely by glass before, you don't feel it. So she probably wasn't even fully aware that she was attacked, but you can see her in...
But you see her life drain from her eyes as she bleeds out and her blood spreads across the entire floor of the van, of the bus. And not a single person gets up to help her. Not one. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Complete fear afterwards. And what would cause someone to do...
I think everyone needs to remember Iryna. A completely and utterly senseless death. Because it's too racist to arrest a career criminal.
Do this. She called you the N-word. No, she didn't.
No, she didn't
Even speak to you. Even if she did do that, it doesn't justify murder, but it does kind of suggest that she was killed because she's white. Oh, and of course, the media...
He also said, I got that white girl, I got that white girl.
It completely tried to cover it up.
The Associated Press wrote 0 stories about this over the weekend. PBS, New York Times, NPR.
By the way, one day before Charlie Kirk was killed, the guy on CNN said that Charlie Kirk is a racist. For the record, because of how he covered this story the day before he was killed. Dude, the media's accountable, man. They're all accountable. It's a nightmare. We can't live like this. We're living like this among liars and criminals that just run defense for each other. It's insane.
Our Wall Street Journal, BBC, CNN, Washington Post, Reuters, MSNBC, zero stories.
The only reason that we know about this story is
because Elon Musk bought X.
Is because of Twitter. People on Twitter created such a fury that the news outlets had to cover it.
So stop. And the way they covered it was, MAGA is mad about this to push racism. That's how the New York Times covered it.
Politicizing this. This is not political. This has to...
Absolutely, it's political. You have a woke judge that released a violent criminal 14 times. You're going to tell me that that's not political? Are you retarded?
To do with how we take care of our sick Americans.
Get the fuck out, dude. We need to open up an asylum and put the sick Americans that are too dangerous out of hand's reach from not sick Americans. All right, that's what we need to do. All right, we need a big hole and throw them in the hole. Sorry, man.
Yes. When they are in need.
What do you mean this isn't political? It's absolutely political.
Obviously.
Remember in 2020 that there was a career criminal who was about to drive a car under the influence of fentanyl before he OD'd? Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Remember how you pieces of shit in the media covered it nonstop through a massive disinformation campaign where you hid information and caused months of rioting? And you did that because he was black. But when it's an innocent white...
And also because obviously these are godless heathens. Insane, man. Actual heathens. Fucking pushing shit, validating, looting, and rioting, and burning our cities because of Saint Fentanyl Floyd.
Girl just trying to take the train in peace, you say nothing.
If not for independent... Hold on. Blue retard on screen. Wait, hold on. Media, no...
Girl just trying to take the train in peace, you say nothing.
If not for independent media, no one would know this was happening. It's fucking sickening. Where are all the cops? Where are all the mayors kneeling and kissing a gold-encrusted coffin like they did for George Fentanyl Floyd? That motherfucker was a criminal who died of an overdose, and the entire city was up in flames. The whole country was rioting. Every cop was kneeling and crying to the woke mob in order to make believe that they cared so much. It's fucking bullshit, fake-ass, virtue-signaling ass crack of a society. Here you get a random girl killed for fucking no reason. No reason at all.
Actually, when they finally did...
That handsome man, he was cooking. He was angry with a righteous fury, and he was cooking. On that day, the cookage was glorious. I'm just saying. Damn. Bro cooked. I'm just saying. Bro cooked. Blue retard, blessed be his retardation, he cooked. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Isaiah 5:20. Yeah, that's right, man. Facts. Straight facts.
Start to cover it. They were very quick to make it political. Here's an article from the New York Times. A gruesome murder in North Carolina ignites firestorm on the right. And then the article spends the whole time attacking conservatives and running PR for the killer. It was probably one of the most disgusting things I've seen in my entire life.
Yep.
Oh, wait, here's something else that's...
And the craziest thing is, we only know about that, again, if we wouldn't have X, if we wouldn't have independent media, we would just take that, we would just take them at face value.
Pretty bad, too.
We don't know why that man did what he did.
This is the guy I was talking about. This guy called Charlie Kirk a racist in this interview.
We don't know how to deal with people who are hurting in the way this man was hurting.
Shut the fuck up. Stop empathizing. Dude, the media ran defense for the assassin, the Charlie Kirk assassin, too. Tyler Robinson, that fucking degenerate piece of shit that killed Charlie Kirk. They went out there on the news and were like, oh, he had such a touching love story with his trans furry boyfriend. Oh, shut the fuck up. Hurting? He murdered an innocent person. I don't actually care if he's hurting. We should put him out of his misery and give him the death penalty on the spot. Public execution. Absolutely. I want to see a public decapitation. All right? I don't care.
Hurt people. What happened was horrible.
Hurt people. Think of the murderer. Charlie Kirk's a racist. And then he gets assassinated the next day.
Yes, the killer was just so misunderstood. That makes everything he did okay. Of course, it was CNN that reported this. CNN is so well known for having dishonest reporting that at a first glance, I had trouble telling if this picture was real or not. Local graduate takes a stab at white supremacy. After decades of sitting in the back of the train, D. Carlos Brown Jr. took a stab at ending white supremacy. Now he risks losing his job at NASA.
That's not real. There's no way.
This happens every time one of these murderers of a particular race makes national news. They did it in the European article, too. The media is always like,
wait, that wasn't real. That's fake. There's no fucking way that's a real article. Hold on. CNN local graduate takes a stab at white supremacy. There's no way this is real. There's no way. Yeah, I don't think it's real. Thank God. That's crazy.
Particular race makes national.
I'll take a screenshot of it though. I'll put it into like an image, reverse image search.
National news. They did it in the European article too. The media is always like, he was father of the year, a 4.0 student with a thriving business. Meanwhile, the business is drug dealing, and in reality, he's a career criminal.
This person had an extensive...
Hold up. Blue retard back on screen. Full attention.
Criminal history. An extensive criminal history, including a lengthy history of arrests dating back to 2011, including offenses such as felony larceny, robbery with a dangerous weapon, and communicating threats. He reportedly served approximately 5 years in prison, being released around September 2020 for the robbery with a deadly weapon conviction. He also assaulted his sister just months later.
Good. I didn't even see that one. Wow, fantastic.
Okay, causing minor injuries. And again, as the news mentioned, this guy had a mental health related incident. Okay.
So then why is he in public? Then this dude should be in the asylum forever. He's a danger to the people around him, so we're gonna let him go on cashless bail. Hope he doesn't kill anyone. I'm telling you, man, this fucking bullshit empathy, it's too far.
This story has also caused
Blue guy he was right again. Blue guy was 3 for 3. Blue guy was 3 for 3.
a lot of unsympathetic assholes to engage in whataboutism and say, remember when that white guy killed somebody? Yes, we do.
Jail, execute. I'm a very equal opportunity kind of guy.
Problem is that everybody can talk about that, but we can't talk about this. Something else people began to notice is that there was a Netflix video of a similar context, except the train villain
was a white guy and the victim was a black girl.
Was a white guy. So after seeing this, a bunch of people started posting crime statistics noting that black people are mostly killed by other black people, and here's the more interesting thing. They also noted that the total number of white people killed by black people is twice the number of whites who kill blacks. That's not even a per capita rate. Per capita, if my math is correct, you're like 9 times more likely as a white person to be killed by a black person than the other way around.
Wow.
So this constant narrative of the past 10 years of how dangerous white people are is egregiously wrong. But I can't expect that much morality from Netflix because remember, they were the ones who put cuties on their platform.
I am an unemployed college dropout. I barely know how to code, which is why I've failed every job interview I've ever had. The closest I got was at Netflix until I brought up the cuties controversy. What did you think about Netflix standing by cuties?
So to be honest, I probably would rather not touch on those. Do you have any other questions about like the what it's like to work for us or the culture or?
But what's even worse was the number of black people who were openly happy that a white person was killed, just like they cheered on Carmelo Anthony killing Austin Metcalf.
That's right.
This one says deserved and has a crown edited onto D. Carlos Brown's head. Next we have, we're even for George Floyd now. And last, we have one that says, D. Carlos is the natural response to 400 plus years of oppression. Expect more like him. Basically encouraging violence by rubber stamping it. In response to all of this, we have a tweet saying,
he tweeted this the day before he was killed. Dude, I'm telling you, I have a Charlie Kirk hold in my heart.
America will never be the same.
What are we doing where we are sympathizing with fucking murderers? I can literally feel in real time myself becoming radicalized because this country,
by understanding statistics and the fact that not all cultures are the same,
is
weird how that happens.
These people are forcing me to because the people in charge are a fucking joke.
Yep, I think a lot of people feel the same, but we
Tectone, he's not like some hyper politicized guy. He's just like, wait a second, I started actually looking at shit and it's like, wow. It's like, wow, or something.
Haven't even hit the most disturbing part yet, which is that you see all these people here, none of them tried to stop the guy. Though one guy did take out his camera and filmed. Now, understandably, there was no stopping him from attacking the Ukrainian girl. Unfortunately, that was just too quick. But after that, they let him go free. And let me point...
They didn't go up to the Ukrainian girl as she was bleeding out.
Point out how ridiculous that is, because I'm sure someone will say, well, he had a knife, man, what could they do? Thank you for making an argument in favor of the Second Amendment. Welcome to the team.
Get a fucking gun. Kill that bastard immediately. Kill him. Put him out. Take him out immediately.
Second, if you watch the video, D. Carlos Brown puts the knife away, walks around, takes his jacket off, and no one does a thing. There were plenty of opportunities to make sure that he doesn't escape or worse, hurt someone else or both. And now you might say that these people probably didn't see what happened. Okay.
Please. She was bleeding all over the car.
So then why the fuck didn't the people who saw it say, hey, that guy just killed somebody the minute he put the knife away? The most frustrating thing here is watching them let him exit the train, free to attack someone else.
She was scared, holding herself, and then slumped over unconscious. And they just let her lie there.
This is horrible, and I've been on Twitter long enough to know that this reaction from people isn't isolated to this situation.
True.
So as bad as it is to watch a number of black people cheer on the death of an innocent girl, I think it's far more sickening to watch a train or a bus full of people who give no help to someone being attacked and do nothing to keep the attacker from escaping. Also, look at this here.
New York City is not safe. It's not safe for women, okay? I am so sick and tired of having to look over my shoulder 24/7, not just at night, during the day, at all hours. I'm sick and tired of it.
Now, this girl is a reformed liberal, so give her some credit, but
Wow. So that means her whole life she was voting for this. Until now, and she realized, oh shit, wait, hold up. My empathy is killing me. Wait, hold up. I am personally affected now by my decisions. It's not just other people. It's not just the poors that get affected. It's me now. So now I'm reformed. Yep.
big reason there is so much crime is because of stupid radical leftist soft on crime voting policies.
It's because of women that are primarily the large leftist voter base that have feminized the entire culture and decided that we should be voting based on empathy and emotion instead of actual, putting your foot down. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that women shouldn't vote. I'm just saying it's because they do vote that we're here. Listen, I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I'm saying that we are here because they do. Just making it clear.
And get used to those policies because Mamdani is probably going to win, and he's in favor of making the New York justice.
Yeah, he wants to abolish all prisons in all of New York. That's his fucking strat.
System even more useless.
Are prisons obsolete?
I mean, what purpose do they serve?
It's to keep the murderers away from the killing people. That's one of the things.
Right. I think we have to ask ourselves that, which is that, I think a lot of people who defend the carceral state, they defend the idea of it and the way it makes them feel.
See, personally, I'm not a huge fan of prisons. I think that we should be executing murderers. I don't think murderers should be taking up space in our prisons. I think if you kill someone, they should get executed. That's my opinion. So I think it saves us taxpayer dollars and lots of shit.
Yeah, it makes me feel safe because you've quarantined all the bad people from civilized society. How is this guy?
A prison could have kept Iryna Zarutska alive if they would have kept her to Carlos Brown in jail one of the 14 times he was arrested.
Popular. How is there no one better than him? With all the people in New York City, there's no one?
Men, when are you going to wake up and realize that the women in your life are not safe?
The women are the ones voting for it. Okay, we are trying our goddamn best. All right, I have dedicated my YouTube channel to radicalizing people with radical, brutal, unadulterated honesty. Okay, that's what I do on my YouTube channel every day. I am trying my absolute best. Why don't you vote for us and we'll do our best? Okay, thank you.
When are you going to protect us? When are you going to defend us?
Men, you're the problem. You're evil. I don't need no man. I'm a girl boss. I'm a girl boss. I do my thing. I roll around, girl bossing around. I don't need no man. I want to raise a family. Or not. Mostly not. I will abort my babies. I will kill my children as the best of my ability. I will not ever submit to a man. I will never do anything. I will not recognize that a man could protect me. But men, why are you not protecting me? I am going to take Tylenol immediately.
I don't know how many years I will have lost in my life to being so hypervigilant and having my nervous system jacked.
Get married. Literally, get married. Learn to cook. Men like that shit. Get married. That would help. Also vote red. Sorry. It's time to listen to Nuxanor. Bullshit time half ended.
Every fucking time I walk past a man on the street. Why are you still...
Why do you not have a husband? Why do you not have a husband to be there for you? Sorry, lady. Why?
Playing video games with dudes that think that Trump is the greatest thing to ever happen to this country.
Oh, so you're anti-Trump, but you want a man to protect you? Well, that's your problem. You're retarded. All right, I'm sorry. Hey, I don't want to be that guy, but you're accidentally retarded. That's right. Yep, that's where we're at. She voted for Kamala. She voted for the fucking, the release all the criminals person. Yep, she voted for the let in all the illegal immigrants person. All right, so why are we surprised? Literally. I want a man, but also, I don't want a man. But also, I'm a girl boss and a feminist, and Trump is bad, so if you vote for Trump, I don't want you, but... Yeah, sorry, bitch. Sorry, bitch. Hope you don't get raped. I really do. I don't want you to get raped. I'm just saying, if you would be married, chances are you would be more protected. Do something to make yourself likable, I guess?
Look out for me. Do something.
It's weird because...
Yeah, I deserve all of these things. What am I going to do? Deserve more things. That's right. I deserve a man to protect me and to vote the way I want to vote and to think the way I want to think and to be a feminist. Yep, I deserve a feminist man to be out there to protect me. Bitch, you did this to yourself. Read scripture, find God, and recognize that your life would be better in a more traditional societal role. Sorry, that's just life. It would be better. Again, you can be very successful, you can be very smart and inquisitive and challenging and a beautiful, wonderful person, but you could also have a husband that will protect you and care for you and give you children to take care of you when you're old, instead of being a old, whiny, grumpy, lonely, sad bitch.
And are trying to keep people safe, yet there are tons of assholes who will support them being arrested for it. Like Daniel Penny, for example, who, from the sounds of it, stopped a crazy homeless guy from doing something horrible. Meanwhile, career criminals like DeCarlos Brown get a catch-and-release program from judges. And if you want things like that to stop, if you want people to stop getting punished for stopping criminals, then you need to be very loud in your support of the heroes with stuff like monetary donations to their legal funds, and be very loud in your distaste of people who are trying to increase the crime.
You need to be honest. That's the problem. You need to be honest. You need to pick up Charlie Kirk's microphone. That's what you need. Right? You need to stop being scared to say what you think, because, you know, they'll label you in a way that's bad. That's how they controlled you for years. They controlled you through these labels. This is the leftist voter. She goes out there with all of her empathy. She empathizes and votes, and then she wonders how she got into that position. That's where we're up to, man. That's literally where we're at. And she'll never understand.
Right? By letting criminals go free and by punishing good citizens. And when I say that, I mean that the judges who kept giving DeCarlos Brown a break need to be investigated and put on trial. And if they're found guilty, they should receive the same punishment that the murderer would get.
I completely agree. I think every single one of these activist judges and people that are letting these people out constantly need to be held accountable. Their blood is on your hands.
It's time to be tough on crime. There are not enough penalties for being a criminal.
We need more people in jail. We do not have enough people in prison in America. We do not have to live this way.
He's right.
You can create a society and a culture where you can get on a train or a subway and not be Iryna Zarutska and get stabbed to death in the neck because some black criminal decides, I'm just going to go do it.
He's right. Stop letting criminals go free. Now, I'm sure that most of you can probably figure out why I put so many clips of Charlie Kirk in this video. And actually, I'll say that I've kind of slowly been collecting information for this video for about 2 months now. Charlie Kirk was already in my notes and planned to be in the video because of what he said about South Korea being extremely safe. So he was already going to be in this video. However, what I would not anticipate is how major of a role he would play. And that's because on September 10th, 2025, I was scrolling down Twitter, taking a break from work, and I saw a tweet saying, Charlie Kirk has been shot.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I'll never forget that day. I will never, ever, ever, ever forget that day as long as I live. Man died fighting for God, and they killed him for God. The ultimate martyr, for real, for real. And I will forever be there to pick up your bloody microphone, man. I don't think anyone could ever replace you. I think we all need to replace you. Every single one of us needs to stand up and pick up your microphone. That's where I'm going to stop his video. You guys can keep watching his video if you want. I'll link it in the description, obviously. I didn't want to cover the Charlie Kirk stuff since I already covered that in depth myself. But yeah, I wanted to cover the diversity shit, the culture shit, the labeling, the invasion, stuff like that. So this was the topic I wanted. Remember Iryna Zarutska. Remember the ones that didn't make it because of the retards in society that value the label of being empathetic over protecting their lives. Deuce Vault. God wills it, and God is good. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.